People are gonna be what? In their headphones.
I'm gonna get my little thingy up here too. A little sports.
Your little notes. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of InModeration. Today I have a special guest.
Yes.
One of my best friends here, Liv.
Hi, everyone.
This is Liv. She has become one of my besties. We met through friends freshman year. We weren't that close at first, but then our friendship kind of developed, and I feel like I've been able to witness her amazing growth in the last 3-4 years. So,
yeah.
Liv, tell them who you are, what you're all about, what you're doing right now, anything.
I mean, both of us, have you, told about, where you go to, college and stuff?
I go to James Madison in Virginia, if I haven't mentioned that yet.
So we both met each other at James Madison University. We're both hospitality majors, so that's why we've also become really close friends, because we are not just social friends, we are academic friends, work hard and play hard.
Academic weapons.
I work while I go to school. I am fortunate that my parents do help me out, but I'm still working in the hospitality industry. I definitely started working out, and I was inspired by Charlotte, and that's also why, because I would text her and be like, oh, I went to the gym, I'm so proud of myself, and then she would just give me the reassurance that even though I'm doing small things, it's very important to just start off small and kind of work your way there. I mean, I'm not the biggest person ever, I'm not strong, but you go there for yourself, you go there for just trying to be healthy, in any way, shape, or form you see healthy. I mean, there are certain ways, I feel like definitions of different definitions, which is totally fine, but I definitely think as a college student, you have done a great job showing people what it means to, and she's definitely inspired me, and I'm just here to kind of share stories about myself and our experiences together through college.
Yay! I'm so happy. So I want to talk about leveling up first, because I feel like I know when your level up happened, but when did you feel that happen for yourself, and what caused that to happen?
So it was probably last fall semester, probably about a year ago today. I'm in a healthy relationship, and I was definitely wasn't sad, but I definitely wasn't, I'm still not the best version of myself, but I'm definitely on that journey, and I can see progress. You can always improve, you can always be better, but I definitely think for the summer going into junior year, when we actually started become hung out because of my birthday, I was really my goal that summer was to cook and to really learn how to cook, because I was going into the hospitality industry. I needed and I love food, so I'm I need to know what I'm getting my how food should be prepared, so that I can maybe one day be managing a culinary team or something in that realm. But I really took that, and the fact that I took that goal, and then in the fall semester I really implemented it into my life, and was cooking a couple meals a week. I was okay, if you just practice at something, especially during break, summer breaks, winter breaks, you really can when you don't have as much homework, or you don't have you're just really going to work, especially as a college student, you're just going to work, hanging out with your friends. It's really easy to just start those habits, because you can only the only way to form a habit is by practicing it all the time, or not all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, consistently sticking with it. May I add that Liv started cooking dinner for groups of us, and we would all go over for a family dinner, everybody, girls, guys.
Yeah,
she was chefing it up. So
I would literally just invite whoever was in town. I was I'm making baked mac and cheese tonight, come over. And I I love cooking for people. Like,
Yeah.
it is like my, like, feeding people and like making them happy and then be like, oh my God, this is so good. It literally like makes me like myself glow inside.
Yes.
I'm just so, it makes me happy.
That's, you put yourself out there, you tried something new and you found something that you're actually good at, and like
Yeah.
it brings you joy. So
Exactly.
like you gotta try the new things. You
Exactly.
gotta, and it's not gonna happen overnight.
Exactly. And going into that, like, I realized, like, okay, if I just set a habit, I really brought that into winter break. Charlotte kind of, because we were hanging out a lot, and I was like, even my boyfriend, like, he worked, shout out Warren. He goes to the gym, like, not every day. Like, if he has homework or he has a project to do, he is not going to the gym. Like, he knows there are certain things that should hold a higher priority. But I saw him, and like he would see, like, he'd be like, oh, I saw Charlotte, and I'm like, oh my God, like I like got FOMO. I'm like, like he got to see Charlotte, like I haven't even seen her today, and like he literally just went to the gym for like a 45-minute workout, and I really just started working out at home over winter break, like in my room, because I really didn't like want to pay for a membership for like a month. We're at home. So I started to just do that, and I implemented it into the school year. I would go a couple times a week. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't need to be lifting heavy either. I told Warren, like, I don't lift to be like this massive girl or this strong girl. Like, I like to define myself as a strong woman, but like, I don't need to be like so strong I can lift more than a man, but like, I want to like feel good, look good. And I'm not saying like you have to be skinny or like not be muscular to look good, but like that's my definition of like how I want my body to look. And I'm putting those habits and strategies in my lifestyle so that I can be happier.
I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you for that. For real.
Because like I said, like you, like how like you and Delaney do it, I admire both of you.
Thanks, man.
I don't think I could ever do that.
Totally fair.
But like, I admire you, and I think you're very knowledgeable, strong freaking women.
You are too. You're powerful.
Just different though.
Powerful.
But that's great.
It's great because everyone's got their own type of power. You just have to figure out where your strengths come from.
Mm-hmm.
So since you've leveled up and like started making these better habits and doing these things for yourself, how has that changed your friendships, the people you surround yourself with, the type of friends you have?
Well, so I mean, Charlotte, like she said before, like it wasn't that like we were like we got into beef or anything. Like we just like we met a couple of times, and like once in a while we would see each other out. It's just like we met through another friend, and like we both don't really talk to that friend anymore. So that connection kind of got lost. But then like once we came back together, we realized like how much we do have in common. But I think, in my opinion, I think we have very similar views on what makes a friend, because I think we treat each other with such respect, and like whether like we're doing a group project together or we're going out and getting drinks or we're like whatever it is, like it's always like do what's best for like you. Like I'm inviting you to this thing, but like do what's best for you. Like you don't have to come, but that invite is always there. And you know how to reach out to people, and that like makes honestly me better about like you reach out to me so much, and I literally like I think about my friends and I'm like, oh, I haven't reached out to them in a while. Like I need to, like Charlotte reaches out to all these people, she does so much. I'm like, I need to reach out more. Like I don't think you need to be texting every single second of the day. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like friendships like that, like I'm sorry, you're not independent, you're like the same person, you're like conjoined twins. But it's just like, no, like we are very similar, but we have our differences. And I think just understanding that people have fucking lives. We have fucking lives. Doesn't mean you can't care for that person and support them with everything they do, but people have lives, and you need to be understanding, and you need to like I said, you need to understand people have a life.
Yeah, so like that's totally of value to
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, yeah.
I like go off of.
No, I see exactly what you're saying though. Like as you've learned to value like your time and the things that you do more, you've respected that other people want to do that as well. So it's important to have friends that can respect that, like, you're gonna do your own thing, you're gonna have your own life, but that doesn't mean like you're not friends because you can't do the same thing together all the time.
Exactly.
Yes, I got it.
And just like also just doing new things with your friends, doing the same, hanging out in the same apartment, watching the same show, doing the same thing all the time. Like I'm like, you're not, anyone in that friend group is not growing as a person, and you're just like, and that in my eyes, I'm like, you're just like wasting your time, you're wasting your life. You're going through the motions every single day. And for me, like, I've just realized like I'm a lot happier if like I'm doing different things and I'm like learning every day. Not even like something like, oh, in 19 what, like, not that. Like I'm learning something about myself every freaking day of my, like, at least this semester.
Growth mindset, baby.
Yeah.
So doing new things, schoolwork, friends, relationship, like how do you balance all of this? Like how do you fit it all in?
I've seen like so many TikToks and they're like, make sure you're getting up early, which I agree with. I love getting up early, and I think it makes you more successful. Not like just in general. I think it like you have more time in your day.
I feel like my thoughts are clear. I have more energy.
Yeah. Yeah. You just like, and then it's like literally 12 o'clock and you've gotten so much done and you're like, dude, I have so much like more time. Like getting up early, having a plan is like my boyfriend gets mad at me all the time because he's like, why do you need to know that right now? Like you're planning too ahead. But I'm like, that in my eyes, like that's how I get everything done, and I make sure everything's done. And like if I don't get something done, it's not that I've learned. It's not the end of the freaking world. Like I'm sorry, like there are bigger issues in this world. Like if I don't get something done, okay, it's a tomorrow problem then.
Right.
Like I've realized the past like 3 or 4 years, I have made I don't want to say my life miserable. I've made my life less enjoyable because I was anxious, worrying about stuff that like literally, like I told Warren, I was like, today, he was like, I don't want to go to class. I'm like, dude, like, I was like, I used to feel that way all the time going in class, being like getting so anxious. Like, what if they ask me this question? Say, sorry, I don't know the answer. What, someone gonna laugh at you? Okay, not gonna see them in a year or two. Like even like who cares? I've just learned like, sorry, I'm like literally going off track because my mind is 1,000 miles a minute.
This is perfect.
But like this is how I talk, so I'm just trying to just vibe. But anyways, just having a plan, realizing that like you're not perfect and not everything's gonna get done, and just like also one thing I was thinking, because I was like, oh, what am I gonna talk about? Having a clean environment. I'm sorry for all you messy people out here. I don't know how you do it.
Clean the fuck up.
Clean yourself, get your shit together. Having a clean environment every Sunday. I have to clean my room, make it like. And I will do one cleaning thing a day to make sure that like on Sundays I can spend 30 minutes cleaning, but the place looks spotless. Because if you do like a cleaning task a day, like
and how long does it take?
It literally takes like 2, 3, maybe 5 minutes. Maybe
clean your room.
Like pick up,
we're saying.
Like even just put shit in the laundry basket. Like just get it out of people's sight, just like, and out of your sight, because then it's gonna make you more anxious and there's more things that you're thinking about.
One less thing to have on your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah. So someone who's new at this, trying to balance doing all these things, trying new things, keeping their shit clean, what advice would you give them to get started aside from having a plan? Like some people, like how do you make a plan? Where do you know where to start?
I mean, this is gonna sound so weird, but like I looked at my flaws. I was like thinking, like I don't know. I just thought about my flaws that I just like didn't like about myself. I'm like, what? Like I'm not taking care of myself like an adult. And that's how I got into cooking. I'm eating pasta and marinara sauce 4 times a week. Like that's not good for you. Like eating pasta with, especially like without like not having proteins or just any vegetable, like that's not healthy. Even though I was like cooking, I wasn't cooking.
Right.
I just like looked at those flaws or like I was like, I don't even know my anxiety. I don't even know where I'm just going. I lost my train of thought. I would go talk to your friends because I feel like talking to your friends and also sharing the thought, like things that you want to change about yourself. It gives you, I've heard this so many times from Schwartz, our professor that we had him at different times, but
he's the best.
He's the
Shout
best.
out Ben Schwartz. If you ever
maybe it was like him, his
we
influence.
should get him on a podcast.
Can I be
Professor Schwartz? We need you on here.
Yes, we do.
Anyway,
because he honestly, I feel like he got me to like think about that more. Like I need to like be better. Like people are doing more things in life. Like I'm gonna die and what? I like sat around and got high all day. Like that's not valuable.
Yeah.
That is not a good use of time. I'm not saying all the time you can't be doing, I mean, not sometimes you can't be doing that, but I'm just saying like doing that as a college kid, just cooped up in your apartment or house all day. It's terrible.
You're wasting, people are like, we have to do it now because we'll never be doing it again. Well, you're wasting 4 years of growth that you could be making and learning, exploring about yourself. Yeah. I left Professor Schwartz's class feeling like I wanted to be a better person every single time.
Same. But where I was going with that, like, he even told us in class, like, writing things down, your goals, and telling people you more likely to achieve your goals because there's accountability there. Like, and just even, like, having, like, even though she's my friend, like, I honestly feel like I've learned so much from you that I take into, like, I was like, it can be your friend that you are literally texting and being like, hey, I went to the gym. And like, how hard is it to press the button and love the message and say, proud of you? How long does that take? About 10 seconds.
Yeah. Surrounding yourself with those right people who are going to do things like that.
Yeah. Because people won't. Yeah. People will get jealous of you and see that you're doing better and that you're growing and
they distance.
Because
it's uncomfortable to be with someone whose growth you can feel and it's like a visible energy thing.
And I feel like that's why when I hung out with you when I was like not doing, I wouldn't say my best. I wasn't doing my best. Like I felt your energy and I'm like, I want that. Not exactly what you're doing, but like I want that feeling of feeling accomplished and feling like today was productive. Like I'm not a lazy piece of shit. Like I have purpose to this world.
I literally watched your energy totally transform. I feel like a big part of it, like the icing on top of the cake for you, was that internship you did this summer. Tell us about it. Like, you go off. Like, take your time, because I know you loved it.
Oh, my God. I had an amazing time. I worked for a 5-star hotel on Palm Beach Island in Florida. My uncle worked for PGA National for 10-something years, something like that. But he was in the hospitality industry, so he was like, they live in Florida, and he was like, you should apply to this resort. I was like, okay, never heard of it. Apparently a lot of people know about it, and it's a great place. It is a great place, but it was just beautiful. I worked by a pool and beach all day, every day. It was very, very warm, but I also got different shadowing experiences and all that on a resume. But internally, and what I got from this summer was really just like I would do things. I like had such a fear of like and like going out and doing things by myself. Like going on a Target run or like going grocery shopping by myself was like not like the most terrifying thing, but like I would like put it off and like procrastinate like doing things until I could find someone to go with me. Because I just like I'm like, oh, like it just like I don't know. Like I just couldn't do it by myself because like I normally wouldn't do things by myself. I'm like always with my friends or with my parents. And I was like living with since I was like with my aunt and uncle, like sometimes they fed me, but like I had to be responsible for myself. Like I'm not their child and like I know what it's like to like live alone because obviously the past 3-4 years I've been living alone at or like with roommates at college. But like just realizing and being considerate of others around you and just doing things for yourself and whether it's going like I literally would go to the beach by myself.
Tell them about that phone call because that phone call is I feel like you're like you had one foot in your new life, one foot in your old life, and when you called me that day that was like your other foot stepped over and
no,
like
literally
you stepped into yourself.
I was like they were like, oh, the beach is so nice, and I like saw it once, like we walked through, but I wasn't in my bathing suit. And Juno Beach is absolutely, if you can go, it's a dog beach. It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's like very just secluded to like it's a very residential area, so like there's not like it's not like the Jersey Shore, like where everyone's just like laying next to each other.
We're both from Jersey.
Yeah, but I did, like called Charlotte. I was like, dude, like I don't know what else I did that day. I definitely like did something else, and I was just like, dude, like I just like did this and this, and like now I'm at the beach. Like I was just laying out there, or I was like reading my book, and like I was so productive that day, and I was just like doing things on my own, but like so productive. And I was like, wow, like I like why like I was fine. Like there's no harm in doing that. Like why was I so scared? I have no idea. But it's just like everyone's going out and going to the store. Like why should I be anxious?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just am doing things that you want to do, and if people don't want to come, still go. Like who cares if your friends are coming or not? Just go and do it because you're going to regret it when you're 80 and you can't move.
And maybe when you go by yourself, you will find a new friend who has a similar interest of you, and suddenly you have a whole new friend and probably a whole new community of people.
I mean, like that guy I met at the beach. Did I ever tell you about him?
Tell me, refresh my memory.
So, last full day in Florida, yes. I met this guy. I like went and watched the sunset by myself. I mean sunrise. Watched the sunrise by myself. And went in the like for a little dip in the ocean. And I met this walking out of the beach. Like the guy was like, oh, like he's doing his little workout in the ocean, like lunches in the ocean. He's like, he's leaving. He's like, oh, like see you tomorrow, like same time tomorrow. And I was like, no, like I'm actually going back to Virginia. And he's like, ah. Oh. Then I'm walking out, and his friend's like, oh, like, where are you from in Virginia? Mind you, these are like 40, 50-year-old men. I don't know exactly how old, but like older. And he's like, I was like, I'm not from Virginia. Like, I'm from New Jersey, but I go to JMU. He was like, oh, I went to JMU. And I was like, yo.
Small world.
And he was telling me, I was like, yeah, I worked at where I worked this summer. I'm not going to disclose that information because of anyways, I was like, oh, I worked at blah, blah, blah. I am a hospitality management major, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, like telling me how he I found out later he wrote a book about handcrafted cocktails, but he owns like all these restaurant and bars in New York. So I got his phone number, connections. I'm going to reach out to him to come to the Le Gourmet event, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
I want him to come.
So connections are everywhere. You just have to you gotta
go out to the ocean.
Don't be scared to talk to people. Like, people want to talk to you.
Be aware.
Be open.
Because aware though.
Be aware.
There are creepers.
Totally.
I did some research on this man and looked up his LinkedIn account very quickly after I met him to see if he was lying about being like a JMU alum. Because I was like, okay, like I said I went to JMU. He could easily be like, me too. Yeah. People do that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Be aware. But also don't be scared of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Be open to experiences.
Be open but aware.
Yes. All right. Before we wrap it up, if you could go back now as to your freshman self and tell her something that you know now, what would you tell her?
Oh my God, there's so many things I would tell her. I would tell her that she did a complete 180 on herself, on her career journey, on like every aspect of her life has changed for the better. And just because like it's gonna take a couple years, because this year's just extra special and you know some of the reasons why, but just it's gonna take a couple years to, like, people are going to show up in your life to make it easier, but then when you get to the final stretch of your college experience, you are going to feel nothing but happiness. So, like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because I was not in a great place in my freshman year of college. I came into college 6, 7, 8 maybe months after a friend took his life, and COVID hit right after that, and I was dating someone from high school, and then we broke up and then got back together and broke up, and I was smoking weed all the time. Sorry, Dad, you might see this. But just like I wasn't taking care of myself. I didn't care what I was doing at all. Like I thought I did. Like back in the day, I was like, I'm smoking weed, but I'm getting everything done. Yeah, I was getting it done, but like, am I learning from things? Do I feel purpose in what I'm doing? Because even if my assignments are stupid now, I'm just like, get it done. Mm-hmm. Like there's a purpose. Mm-hmm. They've studied this. Like just shut up and do it. Like your parents are paying for an education, and you're probably like stuff that even in my internships this summer, I was like, oh, this is so annoying. And why did I have to learn this? And then I saw it and experienced it in my internship. And I'm like, wow. And some people like haven't experienced those things and are like not saying they're stupid, but they just aren't knowledgeable in that like field. So it's just, yeah.
All of those things. Those would be good things to know.
Yeah. Especially the major change. Woo!
It's okay.
Freshmen live with a freaked out. What are you talking about? What are you doing with your life?
Change is so good.
It's so good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we're here together right now.
Me too.
Thank you.
We're hugging right now if you can't see.
Yeah, if you can't see, we just kissed.
Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But anyway, Liv, thank you for being here.
Anytime.
I'm so happy.
We can make a part 2.
She might be back.
I might be back.
Warning. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of In Moderation, where we practice all things balance. See you next time.
Bye. That was good. Sorry I rambled.
No, it was so good.